So what's being suggested is what is what is. What is what is? What is what is? What is what is and what isn't. What is simultaneously what is imagined and the unimaginable. What is the seeming unknowing of everything unknowable or knowable even. What is nothing and everything. What is in everything definable, but is also undefinable. What is cannot be captured in a word, but seemingly it appears in every single word. What is the silence in every sound. What is this uncreated masterpiece of nothingness? Uncreated, sourceless masterpiece. What is this greatest story that can never be told? What is this simply appearing as this? Just this, simply this. What is the infinite expression of the inexpressible? What is the hypnotic dance of the illusion of reality? This, doing the lambada, the forbidden dance. I don't know if people get the reference. What is both real and unreal? What is this palpable experience of the existence of a you or a me, but at the same time, the undeniable absence, the subtle but very undeniable absence of a you? Should I keep on going? What is the performer and the audience clapping at itself at the absurd idea of separation as entertainment with an infinite play of encore, bravo, this undefinable this. What is the mama and the yo mama joke getting insulted and laughing at itself simultaneously? My nephew came over and I was shocked that he knew yo mama jokes. Don't look it up. What is the unrequited lover crying and begging for love when it is unconditional love itself? What is seeking for what is, but always missing what is because it prefers what isn't. What is this unteachable direct immediacy? This is unteachable. Yet, it wants to be known. It's the not giving up of trying to figure out what is also what is. It's that infinite chase with no ending, with no one getting caught. What is this stunning directness, this appearance that's not actually appearing? Because it doesn't have anyone to appear to. What is blindness to itself? What is this undeniableness? It's so undeniable. What is undeniable. But somehow it's denied. What is this unnegotiable clarity, directness that is this, that's always up for negotiations on trying to figure out what is. What is seemingly here is the same as what's seemingly there because there's no location. There's no distance. Distance is just another illusion. It's just another idea. What is this completeness, this wholeness, this unicity, this simplicity that is somewhat added, subtracted, multiplied, divided by the inquiring mind, although there is no mind. What is often dissected, talked about, put into little concepts, symbolisms. What is even a belief system? Sometimes it appears that way, but what is cannot be captured in any of those. Because what is seemingly appearing as this It's just naturally this. And what is listening to what is. What is longing for what is. What is seems to be hidden because what is in everything. It's in every single thing, and there are no things. What is like a quark that appears in and out. What is the relevance, and the relevance seemingly happening simultaneously. So what is being expressed here is just really simple. It's so simple that it does not require any explanation. So somehow poetry happens and an expression happens in what is, which is also what is. But the silence or the absence of words in between any of these sentences or words is what is. And all of this appearance, all of this expression, all of this wow, or like, I don't get it, it's also what is. What is this resonating with what is? Although what is cannot be known, it feels like it's known. But no one is feeling it. So there's nothing to do, there's nothing to figure out. Simply what appearing is what is. In the apparent spiritual history of this character, it longed for what is pure, what is holy, what is divine, what is absolute, what is the source, what is. But what is cannot be separated into an idea like pure, divine, sattvic, absolute, because that is capturing it. What is not just about abiding in what is, because it's always this what is, abidance or non-abidance. What is not a practice. What is not a maintenance. I used to thought that I got what is being spoken about here, although it cannot be spoken about. And there was a maintenance of what is thought to be the absolute or the pure awareness or the consciousness or God. But what is cannot be captured in those words or any ideas, because anything that anyone will come up is obscuring what is perfectly naturally already as it is. And it creates this idea or a story of what is should be, or how someone got what is into an idea or into an attainment. So what is already this. What is already done. What is breathing, living, but actually it's also an illusion. What is singing, talking, dancing, stillness, laughing, crying, trying to understand what is also what is. And in the simplicity of this, what is being expressed here, whatever it is always it. Whatever it is always what is. And it's so immediate, it's so direct at the moment that we say, well, I know what is, and this is what is, and what is this absoluteness, this pureness, this attainment, this understanding. The moment you understand what is, it creates a picture of what is. Again, what's being expressed here is what is inexpressible. Even saying what is so, it's obscures it already. It's saying way too much. But if you guys want to talk about more about what is, let's open up the chat. And thank you so much again for coming today. We're going to arrive at nothing, because nothing is needed to be figured out. We are going to talk about nothing. the pointlessness, the hopelessness of it all, which is the freedom in what is being expressed. Thank you. If you have any questions, you can type a question or raise your hand. If not, we can just smile. Hey, Khalid. Hello.
Hey.
Hello. Just a second. I'm going to spotlight you.
What's up?
What's up?
I like your posts in Instagram.
Oh, thank you. It's just fun.
Yeah, it's just fun. I used to be in touch with Theo, if you know him. Yeah. It's a nice way. What he says is like focusing on the self.
Yes.
And from that focus in itself, it like, I don't know if it makes a correlation with the chakras being opened.
Yeah, this is not about the self. This is actually seeing that there is no separate.
Yes.
You know, there's no separation. And even I used to be a teacher of the self. I used to teach chakras. I used to do workshops about that. But what was seen in doing all of that is just a reinforcement that there's a separate self, that there is a need to correct something that is already what it is. So the simplicity of this, what's being expressed here is there's nothing wrong or right about that, you know, believing, but a belief system is the moment that you believe in something, then it separates what from what is, or what this emptiness is. Again, there's nothing wrong or right about that. There's a confusion usually when what's being spoken about here as something that is kind of like what I'm talking about, because it usually comes from a belief system like divine or pure or the self with a capital S. After 10 years of teaching that, there was a lot of suffering in maintenance, what is. And seemingly that's what happened to Theo too. In the end, I was noticing that there was just a fluctuation seemingly, although I don't really know of what's going on, because there was an uncertainty. First, he was talking about something, but you know, it's all good. It's just appearing as what is.
Yeah. For me, it is a journey in quotations of going up in a way.
Yeah.
But it's not actually going up. It's because I'm not clinging on to something. Yeah. It feels like it goes up.
Yeah. Why not?
But I don't know, because there's a certain type of progression that's happening. The mind keeps kind of commenting on it.
Yeah, see, that's the level of a little bit of an illusion there, right? Thinking that something is happening, that there's a progression. Again, any kind of movement is illusory, because there's this, all that there is just stillness, and there's an appearance of movement, progression, and everything. Let me save you a trip. I got all the way to the top as a teacher. I thought I was enlightened. And then after that, the fall from that peak is quite steep. It's because everything that you believe, everything that you hold on to, everything that you think that you have achieved is illusory, is a dream. Although there's nothing wrong or right about, you know, trying to go higher or trying to achieve or trying to get somewhere, or, you know, straightening or realigning all the chakras and believing in the self. But it's just another cyclical journey of ups and downs. Sometimes there is this, you know, like, oh wow, you know, I feel so enlightened right now, and then there's a crash usually after that.
Like
you know what I mean?
Like a total dissolution of the body, and even within movement you don't feel even anything.
Yes,
you don't feel like you're even moving. It's just like a camera.
well, yeah, there's not even a you that moves, or not you as a camera again, right? There's this felt sense reality that you feel, but reality is a persistent illusion, isn't it? Yeah, so it's just, this is to blow your mind that there's no mind. So when there's a focus on the mind, there's a separateness. There's an idea that there is a mind that's doing this. There's the mind that I have to quiet. So it's playing in the dance of the illusion when
Right.
all that there is stillness. A lot of people, usually speak about this in the beginning and see a lot of clarity. And then when there is when the honeymoon period is over, then it tries to grasp a learning, or it turns into and there's nothing wrong or right about that. It
Yeah.
turns into sages and Christ and all that kind of stuff, and there's nothing wrong or right about. But again, holding on to sages or any belief system is another separation. So what's being expressed here is the unicity. This is unseparated. This is whole already. It's already done. There's no journey, brother. It's already this.
It's funny because the sound does not actually reach somewhere. It's just coming from the same place.
Exactly. There you go. That's it. That's it.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
no location. There's no separateness between you and I. There's no you and I even. There's just a separation of stories.
Right.
There's a story that, this is what I'm doing and this is what I, believe and everything. But everything, all of that collapses when you go to sleep at night. It's all nothing.
Mm.
Or it's kind of like one of those trips that you have, like you're having this trip, and everything psychedelic or whatever. And then the moment that you sober up, you're like, oh, I guess I was not, Hercules or something.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. So
Yeah,
there is this persistent dance, illusory dance that maintains reality. And then even when you think that reality is the absolute, even if you think that reality is the self, that's still a thought. That's still an idea. So this is the unconditional freedom from all of that. It's just another entrapment the moment that there is a abiding, or there's nothing wrong or right about that, or belief, or someone is a savior, or this is my whatever. Then it's just another idea. It's just another trip in separation. And I've been there, done that, suffered a lot, because I was one of the most neurotic and obsessive seeker and trying to find the truth, only to find out that the truth does not exist. Because the moment that you think that you have the truth, then you're separate again.
Yes.
Yeah.
At some points, you believe you're Jesus Christ carrying the sins of whole humanity.
Exactly. Bless the dude, saying. But yeah, it's just a belief system. So when there is a belief system, and rather than admitting that it was just a belief system, that it was seeing that it was just illusory, it climbs onto another ladder.
Exactly.
It keeps on falling, and it climbs another ladder. So sometimes it will climb into a ladder of, I'm going to, and again, this is not going to be a popular video. I'm going to, follow Ramana and Nisargadatta and everything, but everything is an illusion, including that. There's nothing wrong or right about that. And then when he gets into that idea of that I got it, who got it? Who has it? It's just another trip around specialness. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to feel special.
But there was a consensus with the illusion. Like you see the illusion of it, but then you kind of disassociate with whatever is happening until you realize that it sucks you back in.
Yeah.
And then you realize that you are that.
Well, there's no you to be that.
Yes. Yes.
And I was trapped in that. I'm going to tell you. So I was and I already mentioned the name. So when I was into Nisargadatta, I read that book maybe 100 times. I listened to the pointers nonstop at night, and I was a teacher, and I was teaching all of this stuff. And I had an apparent awakening, a decade ago, and I became a teacher, and it was a maintenance of that. So I was, really focused on the book of Nisargadatta, and every single time that I would say, according to Nisargadatta, there's the I am that, and everything. Well, people focus on that teaching. That is kind of like his most popular teaching, but it is very deathbed. He wrote another book basically saying that I am is just an imaginary friend. This is all unknowable. So what, so a lot of teachings are stuck on that. It's stuck on that source, self, awareness, consciousness. There's nothing wrong, or God and everything. And it's dangerous to speak against that, you know what I'm saying, in the apparent popularity, but this doesn't care about that. There is it's almost like a crucifixion when you're speaking that there's no such things. Every single thing that people will present to you is just another empty idea. And if, for example, if they are certain, there's a certainty, there's an absoluteness, where did that come from? It's another dream.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
yeah.
another illusion. And there's
A
nothing
construct.
wrong with dreaming and illusioning and positioning into something.
Mm.
It's just what is.
It's a construct. It's just an adaptation into
yeah, sure,
into what is, kind of.
it is. Yeah, it is. And there's nothing wrong or right about that, right? It's just all, you know what, even when
Mistakes.
it's just
Like,
innocence playing.
Mm.
It's like puppies playing. Some bark, some chase their own tail, some fall, but ultimately it's just play. But when there are puppies that take their play so seriously that they believe that they have awakened or something, then there's going to be a lot of tucking the tail afterwards.
Yeah. Icarus flies and then he burns from the sun.
Yes. Yeah. And it believes that it has attained something. It believes that it has known something. Again, there's nothing wrong or right about that, right? This is a cautionary tale here of what happened, as when you get into that pinnacle or that summit of a teacher, when you think that you're trying to save someone or trying to save and everything, when it's already perfect as it is. There's nothing that needs to be fixed. There's nothing that needs to be corrected. You don't have to focus your gaze into something, because that is just a denial. It's just an absolute denial of what is already perfectly as it is.
Reality. Well, for me, it's kind like the climb, or used to be like this.
Yeah.
And then it's going like this, and then calms down, then like this, and then calms down, and then goes back like this. And then just like certain movements, because there's a recognition, there's a kind of a recognition, a personal recognition for whatever is happening. So fear comes up. It's like, holy shit, am I gonna mess up my work? Am I gonna do? So it's kind of controls whatever is happening. But I think it's just part of the journey. It's just the hamster is gonna tire.
The whole journey is just a story.
Yeah.
None of it is really relevant.
Right. Because
it feels relevant. It feels important. It feels like something that is feeling kind of like, but it's irrelevant.
Right.
So when there's a collapse of the relevant, character that maintains its relevance, everything that was mentioned is just nothing. It's like a dream at night. Nothing happened at all. And again, it feels absolutely real, like just like a dream at night, when you're drowning, you're running, or I don't know, eating away. It feels absolutely real, but it is also undeniably not real.
Yes.
So every moment is like this awakeness, saying that, okay, oh, wow. But there's no one realizing it. It's just this immediacy, this directness, until there's no more moments, until there's just this singular, eternal moment that's not even happening. And it doesn't need to flip-flop, in different journeys or ideas or belief systems.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, right.
It's just simply as it is. And it doesn't adhere to any sages or teachers or anything like that, because it's unconditional freedom.
Yeah,
it doesn't adhere to any lifestyle, doesn't, or it does, I don't know, it doesn't matter, but there's unconditional freedom. So there's no more seeking in trying to change things.
You feel like fluid.
Well, there's no one that feels, but
there's
fluidity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's fluidity.
There's just this fluidity.
It's just
it's like a solid morphing,
Ah,
a solidity that's that's malleable.
right.
Is that the right word? Malleable, yes.
Malleable,
Yeah.
clay.
Yeah, nothing at all. And that's even saying way too much, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. With this, I'm not taking concepts. I'm just expressing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yes.
It's good.
So
I enjoy it.
when I say clay and stuff, I'm not
Yeah. It's great.
trying to label it.
Yeah. It's just that every single journey or path that I have taken, every single knowledge, every single belief system, even my secret held on to truth and belief systems were burnt down. And it's a loss. It's a complete loss because there's no more handlebars. There's no more safety zone. It's just a free falling, and there's nothing to grasp anymore.
That's really
There's
cool.
nothing that is defended anymore. So what's being expressed is there's just this full-on expression of this character, whatever it is. It doesn't have to adhere to anything anymore. That's it.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you, Khalid.
Thank you.
Thank you. Did I pronounce your name right?
It's okay.
I knew it.
It's Khalid.
Khalid. Okay, Khalid.
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, Khalid. What's in this impermanence question here? I'm going to open up the chat here. Sorry, I forgot to do that. They keep on changing Zoom. They keep on updating it. I can't keep up. So what is this impermanence again is unknowable. And again, impermanence is just another idea, but there is this permanent impermanence. It doesn't make sense. It can't be captured. It can't be known. So what's this is just this is stillness moving. This is the dynamic absence. It can't really be known. So whatever appears as whatever it is, just to simplify it, right? It's just whatever it is it. Whatever is longing for it is it. So all the longing, all the seeking is it. Thank you for the questions, though. Hey, Lauren.
Emerson, hi.
Hello.
I just wanted to chime in for a moment here.
Yeah, for sure. Chime away.
Great. I was talking to a 3-year-old, and we were at a park where there was a statue of a dog. And out of nowhere came a story from the 3-year-old that this dog used to be a real dog, but then it walked over here and it sat down.
Oh, cute.
I know. I was like, wow, like you definitely going to be a creative person.
Yeah.
But it's come to mind lately that, you know, if anything, usually if anything is like this, if something is seemingly wrong, then I come up with a story like just as fast that makes just as little, you know, sense. I mean, so it's just interesting to see how the unraveling of beliefs happens, because
yeah.
I would have believed those stories, and like now I don't as much, you know.
Yeah, in the story we're like little kids, you know what I'm saying, that believes, you know, what we're told and everything, and all of this narrative about, you know, promise. It's kind of like, you know, the Christmas Day is replaced by Nirvana in heaven.
Right.
If you're good, if you are, you know, if you do good, if you're a good boy or good girl, Santa Claus will reward you. And it's the same thing, repeated story over and over again. So in that there's always a dangling carrot, you know, so to speak, right, in the storyland and everything. But the belief is ingrained in that, because they don't want to let go of that belief that something is waiting for them. There's a next, that there's an after, there's a reward. And if you notice little kids, the way that they imagine things, it's so innocent.
Yeah.
It's so innocent. And then we tell them stories about Santa Claus and Jesus Christ, and and Buddha, and then there's this entrapment, what I'm saying, of and it becomes this belief system. See how fast the belief system, according to the moment it's according to, and then we think that we have graduated from Santa Claus, but we're still, the characters are still really trapped in that idea that of a cause and effect. So cause and effect is a story, and then there's also supported by a grand story of cause and effect. And it becomes, and really, if you really look at it, the cause and effect story is coming from the source, the self, that there's something wrong, that there's something that has to be corrected. But if you look at the innocence of kids, like they're creating this stuff. I can't share my little nephew's joke. I met him earlier, and then he started telling me yo mama jokes, but they were so kind of like kid friendly that I was laughing so hard. I don't know if you guys know what yo mama jokes are, but coming from like a little being, a little creature, what I'm saying? I said, you know what? We better put a little bit of parental guidance on your iPad. I don't know what you're watching. But it's innocence. It's innocence. And then, although it's also innocence in the story, and then we tell them story of a horrific, like then you're going to be crucified, or to get rid of your suffering, you have to give up everything, like Buddha. That kind of thing. So there is almost kind of like there's this innocence at play, and then there's this seriousness that comes in when a belief system rolls in.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing wrong or right about that. It's all a play, what I'm saying. But when it becomes that I have to do something, that I have to go on my journey now. This is my spiritual journey. This is my soul seeking number 1895. Which always ends up in a crash, if you notice.
Oh no.
There's always good like this, I'm finding myself. Good luck.
Yeah. Call me on Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's this free kind of like story, this innocence in kids, like that creates all of this stuff and everything with no reason. It's really innocence, right? And then we tell stories with like a purpose, with a carrot at the end. So someone died for you, you know what I'm saying? So that you can go to heaven. And then there's guilt and shame, which is just another story. Or you have to get rid of everything. You have to let go and let go and let go. I did all of those. When I was, and this is a funny story. So people that ask me if you have not suffered enough, there was a moment in the story of Emerson that I said, this is really funny. This is worse than being crucified. Jesus has nothing on me. That's how it felt, what I'm saying, as a seeker. The intensity of that suffering. I laugh at it now because I did utter those words. And then I did the why have you forsaken me kind of thing. It's delusional. But it does start when there is a journey that's taken, when there is a doing that's happening. Although there's no one doing or choosing to do anything, when there's a doing that occurs, right? When there is a path that's taken, so to speak. The moment that you reach the top, it's all the way down. And then it goes back up again and goes all the way down. So it's just the seeking is like a hamster wheel in the slow motion, torturous hamster wheel that keeps on going up and down, up and down. So the end of seeking, what's being expressed here, is that simply seeing that whatever is appearing is already it.
Yeah.
It stops it on its track. It's kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But go ahead with more questions here. Sorry, I just went in a tangent there about whatever.
Oh, there's nothing more important than that.
It's not important at all. But
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you.
I'll let someone else chat with you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. From where did the unknowableness arise? So there's this seeming arising. It doesn't have a source. It doesn't have any purpose. It's just this unknowableness. And this unknowableness is simply perfectly as it is already. When there's a belief that there is a beginning and end, or a progression, or a linear thing, then there is a belief in a separateness. But the unknowableness is simply unknowable. Hey, David. Hello, David. Hi, good to see you. I can't hear you though, David. You have to unmute yourself. Just a second.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah.
We are unmuted now.
Yes. Hello.
Hey, it's good to see everyone. And recently, there's been thoughts come about unknowing.
Yes.
And I think we've talked about that a bit today. And it seems that everything that we learn to know eventually gets unknown.
Yes.
And yet, if we go on a campaign to unlearn things, that's still a doing. And
that's still a doing.
So
any angle that you take in this illusion is just, any direction is just
absolutely. And thank you for having the skill to point this out in a way that we see quite a group beginning to be interested to resonate with, and just without effort sitting with you. This is it.
Yeah.
Everything is it.
Yeah. The effortless effort.
The effortless effort. Wow. Thanks for airtime.
Oh, of course. Anytime, David. Anytime. Yeah, there's no one making an effort. It's just this. It's like when someone goes to the beach, right? They just can sit by the beach and just do nothing at all. And there's just this easiness and everything. This is what is being expressed, that this apparent seeking is just sitting at a beach, and there's just this easiness. But sometimes, you know what I'm saying, when there is a big wave and everything, that's also it. Yeah. When you have to run away from the beach and pack all of your
well, I've enjoyed the big waves too,
Yes, I like the big waves.
Like you, the Nisargadatta book was just my constant companion, and I had every page in that commented on, but eventually it became nothing to me, and I just gave the book away,
Yeah. And again, there's nothing wrong or right. There's
nothing wrong or right with any of that.
some
I'm not telling people to go out and get rid of your books or whatever, but when you begin to realize that you don't need something anymore, like a belief or whatever, it just goes. You don't have to try to get rid of it. You just simply allow it to go. It's like a cloud passing by. You don't try to stop it or try to get rid of it or whatever. It just disappears.
It just disappears. Yeah. It's like a bad dream.
Yeah.
Or a serious dream that seemed to have happened, and you were really caught up in it. And while in a dream, there's this felt sense of reality to it. So when I thought that everything that I was learning from the I am that phase and all that kind of stuff was reality, was the absolute reality, and there was this conviction, and then there's tons of apparent characters, although there are no others, that preaches this stuff, right? And there was an automatic holding on to it. But further, because I'm the kind of seeker that will turn every stone, so to speak.
I'm glad they're that like you around.
Yeah, of course, you encountered his last book, and it's a contradictory of what he was saying.
Yeah.
You know, at his deathbed anyway. But somehow, what people seem to, and there's nothing wrong or right about it again, but some people are, the stuckness is when you, it's like there is a body of work of a character, right? And then if
Yeah.
you focus on one chapter,
Yeah. No.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 Although
But
there are no chapters, but
at,
you know what I
at,
mean.
at some level, you begin to recognize that what's going on with that, focusing on one chapter or focusing on this or focusing on that, and then you get tired of it, and
Yeah,
it goes away.
it does. It does. It does. It does. What's good about what's being talked about, it doesn't have, it's zero chapter. It doesn't have any pages.
Yeah, right.
It
Yeah.
doesn't. How did I get to nothing? No, to get to nothing, you have to do nothing. And no, it's none of that. It's just
No.
nothing all the time. It's just always
Yeah.
empty. It's just the walking. It's like this morning, there's a snowstorm here, and I used to get petrified with snowstorm. But I
Mhm.
was watching all of these branches that are heavy with snow,
Mhm.
that have almost kind of like leaned to you to see the beauty of it. And I was just kind of like captured with so much joy. I'm like, oh wow, there's this
Mhm.
branches that are so heavy with snow that they seem to be leaning, and
Wow.
so beautiful. And then
Yeah.
you see everyone around kind of like with this crunched up faces, kind of like angry, wrapped up in whatever, caught up in there's a snowstorm, and then I'm like taking little pictures here. There.
Yeah.
It is what is, but that's also what is,
It's
right?
also
So when there is a learning, when there is a studying or a seeking kind of like of what is and everything, it's kind of like caught up in what they think is happening, and then they miss the branches leaning to kiss you,
yeah,
so to speak. Yeah,
right. The black branches are loaded and bending
loaded
down.
with snow, and it's
Yeah.
almost like it's so beautiful.
And that same with that intense seeking. It has its job to do or whatever. Nothing wrong with it, as you say, because it's happening.
It is. It's
And
just a happening. Yeah, it's just there's nothing wrong with it. It's just what it is.
yep,
Yeah.
yeah, it ain't gonna take it no place.
It's one of those. It's one of those chapters that you think that you have bookmarked. You know, it's the seeking chapter,
Yeah,
and then you go
yeah.
back to it. You're like, oh, the pages are all empty. It didn't really occur. You're like, where's that? Oh no, it's gone.
Yeah, it's kind of like waking up from waking up.
Yeah, that no one woke up.
That no one woke up from. Oh gosh. You get together and laugh once in a while.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love this hour or 2 hours or 90 minutes because there's a lot of laughter, because
Yeah.
what is being talked about is just absurd, impossible to talk about. Yet here it is. We're
Here it
talking
is,
about,
and talking about nothing.
yeah, talking about nothing. The futility of seeking.
Yeah. You know,
But also the absence and everything.
yeah, yeah. It's also what is, and it's
Yeah,
there's a
cheers to
beauty.
what is.
There's a beauty in the, even in the talking, even when we say the words mean nothing.
Yeah,
There's a beauty in sharing
yeah,
the silence between the words and the silence in the words and behind the words.
yes.
Yeah.
Beautifully said.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll
Thank you,
check
David.
out.
Thank you. And if anyone else wants to share, just please go ahead. What do you think of Mother Mira or Ama? It seems like they're special beings. Again, there's nothing wrong or right about specialness. It's just what is. But when there is a positioning of something separate, something more special, or even something less than, it's just another idea in separation. So here, there's no separateness. It doesn't see any specialness in those whatsoever. It doesn't see any lack or anything wrong. It's just what is. When there is a positioning of, a saint, for example, when because in the story of this character, it was getting positioned to be a saint. It was every day doing selfless service, doing all of this stuff and everything. And there was nothing special about it, to be honest. Nothing at all. There's nothing special with a person that's giving homeless people or a person walking away from homeless people. It's the same thing. But thank you for the question. Thank you for the question. There's no disrespect, but there's just nothing special. There's nothing, no hierarchies, no levels. There's nothing. It's just because it's just again, another kind of holding on to a belief system that there's something other than this. That someone, just because they hugged 1 million people, is more special than this. In the story, there might be special, but in the absence of everything, so what? But thank you for the question. There are no special beings. There are no beings. Or lesser beings. Hey, Kathy.
Hey.
Hello. Hi.
You made me laugh because I didn't hug 1 million people. But anytime anybody asks me for money, on the street, I go, it's from Emerson.
Oh. Oh.
I do. I don't know. I used to run away from them. Now I just look for $1.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You taught me something, but you're not a teacher.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kathy. Thank you for the kindness.
I can't lower my hand. So.
And there's a question here from, from Becca. Is there only this and what is happening right now? See, I've sat upstairs and can hear my children downstairs. It's just that noise is heard, or is that actually happening? What I'm imagining, what I imagine. So there is this noise. For example, in this household, there's probably people walking outside. It's in all of this, but there's no separate outside or inside. There's actually no others, and there's no you. So this is a whole happening, but it's also not happening. So this is a felt sense reality. Like, for example, if your kid goes, "Mom," surely you're going to run and say, "What's going on?" But also everything that seems to be happening, that felt sense of reality, this persistent illusion of reality, is this. So it can't be known because simultaneously there's this appearance, but also there's an absence of everything. It's like when it's being expressed that nothing is everything. There's this fullness in this emptiness. There's silence in every sound. There is this what isness and what seems to be what is not. So there's just this appearing fully, directly as this, and there's no other than this. Because another this is just another idea, another illusion. So in this appearance, everything seems like, children upstairs or downstairs, you're inside, but really there's no location. There's only one perceiver, and that perceiver is you and who's ever listening to, but that you is not even real. It feels absolutely real, but it's not. It's simultaneously real and unreal. So there's going to be this felt sense or this reality that is palpable, that I feel, that I eat, that I, whatever. But there's also this undeniable, subtle absence of you. And what seemingly is noticed is the persistent you, the conceptual me. But throughout the day, if you notice, well, there's no you to notice, but the apparent character, the one that you think you are, appears in and out like a quark. It appears when you are worrying about something, if you're getting, when you're hearing your children running around, making some noise, or when your puppy's barking. But the silent moments, the wordless moments, for example, when I don't even know if it's noticed, but if there is a day you look at it sometimes that you don't even remember half of it, or even 25% of it, because it's automatically happening without a you. So there's just this autopilotness of someone doing dinner, cooking, whatever. And then there's this bursts of you that come in and out, yelling or saying that, oh, I wish I could lose the me. So there's just this appearance, and there's this backdrop of stillness, this infinite stillness, where all of this seemingly seems to appear from, but that's even saying way too much. So it's just stillness moving as separation, stillness moving as children, as upstairs, downstairs, inside, outside. There's no inside, outside. There's no geography. There's no location. There's no distance. It's just what is. There's just an additional idea of what is. It's just superimposed. It's what is dressed up as whatever seems to be appearing. Could a character have character flaws? In the dream, there is separation. So there's going to be perfection and imperfection because there's oppositeness. But since it's a dream, it's really flawless. There's nothing wrong. In the dream, there is this idea of good or bad, or, you know, preferable or pleasant or unpleasant, but it is just an illusion. It's just a subject object. It's just a perspective from the perceiver of what is flawed and what is not. What might seem like a flaw to a perceiver could be perfect to another, meaning it's completely illusory. There's even not a subject or object. It's just another idea. All of this was being expressed here. If for example, it's just all a secret that every single word is empty, meaning it doesn't have any meaning. And if you replace every single word with what is what is, because it's what is. It's just simply what is. There's already perfection in everything. But, you know, in the apparent, you know, story, in the drama of the the persistent reality, what is divided into ideas of what is wrong and what is right, what is preferred, what is not preferred, and what is becomes this layers and layers and layers and layers of what should be. Again, there's nothing wrong or right about that. It's just what is. But thank you, Jenny. I love Jenny's writings. If you guys saw on Facebook, she writes really, really well. On Medium. Hey, Jenny. Jenny from Baja.
Hi, Emerson.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm in Baja, so
Yeah.
I got away from the snow, which I
Yeah,
didn't like. So, um, I'm pretty lucky. I just wanted to talk about something.
sure. Anything.
Uh, it has to do with the story of Jenny. In the story, I have bipolar disorder, and it's been part of my story for 15 years. And it got somehow combined with spirituality
Yeah,
so that when I was climbing up and getting manic, I also thought I was getting enlightened every
yeah.
time.
I've heard that many
Or,
times. I think we talked about this. There's a lot of characters that have this mania, and but go ahead, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
but then I would fall back into depression
Yeah,
and feel like I lost it.
yeah,
And so, and I think I still, part of me believes in this story because I still seem to monitor my moods and my behavior and try to guess like where I'm at on the spectrum. And I used to think I could do something about it, like I could control whether I went too high or too low, I could do something about it. But now I see that it's not true. There's no one to control anything. So I just let it flow. And I've been letting it flow through my writing lately.
yeah, yeah. I've
And
been reading them. It's beautiful.
I
Yeah,
and that's why I write so much, but
yeah.
I can't, but at least something is happening apparently.
What a beautiful
But
way
I
to express it though, by writing. You know what I'm saying? So it's beautiful. Yeah.
thank you. And at least I no longer really believe in enlightenment. So hopefully
Hooray!
that'll help out. Yeah, that'll keep me from trying to think that I have something to defend, some position, or that I could really help other people. Because I used to have like a savior complex. I really wanted to save the world, but
Likewise, Jenny.
now
Likewise.
now I'm just content
Yeah.
to just um go with whatever happens.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to try to save the world on a large scale, like by being a teacher and everything. So I would miss the homeless person on the street, that because I was caught up in the illusion of the specialness that the local homeless people, that I completely missed because I was so important and everything and trying to think that I'm saving the world. So when the specialness dropped away, I started seeing the local homeless people and started befriending them. And
That's
to me,
really
that,
nice.
yeah, and for this, that's there's this character that's always wanting to give and everything, right? Because it's been in that position as well. It's been in the position where I was homeless. So there's always going to be in the story anyway. When I see a shelter, that I see a shelter, I'm like, maybe I should get some socks. It's really, really cold out. Although it's an illusion, you know what I'm saying? But there's also no one choosing to do kindness. But it's not on a grand scale of trying to save the world already, or trying to make a difference, or that there's a special someone here that has a mission or a purpose to help others, because that's separation.
I went into a shelter one time. I was seeking to volunteer there, and I saw someone in a wheelchair that looked pretty tattered, and I assumed he was a homeless person, but it turned out he was the volunteer
Yeah,
coordinator.
yeah.
So you can't even, nothing is what it looks like. Nothing is what it seems.
Yeah, nothing is what it seems. When in start of my spiritual teacherhood or whatever, I just really wanted to help others. there was earnestness
Mhm.
here that just really wanted to help others, and just wanted to, give a, helping hand, but this spirituality of attainment and enlightenment, and the selfless service and the seva and all of this, all of these practices convoluted it. And I think I talked to you about this, but in the apparent, there's still a character here that wants to help, although there are no others. So it still gives, socks and, or buys coffee and soup and everything, but not as a motivation for anything. It's just what is. It's just what is occurring. It's just naturally, I guess in the story, this character is the eldest son of 5 kids, right? So it always looks for the younger brother out there, the younger sister. So he just sees it like that. And again, there's nothing special about it. Also, walking away is also the same.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you, Emerson.
Yeah. But I love your stories. Keep on writing.
Uh,
I think I figured out what's happening with the medium is because I'm on a VPN, one of those so I have to disable it to be able to log in.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll do it after.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Do you think addiction in this story can be because the character realizes at a young age that separation doesn't feel natural, and it can make them feel so uncomfortable in life? Thank you for that question, Becca. There is actually, I'm not sure who said this, but the opposite of addiction is connection. And that's just a story as well. So there is this disconnectedness. And in the story, there is a seeming addiction or a narrative of trying to connect, whether it be, it feels like there's this temporary connection with doing whatever it does that it's addicted to. So it could be drinking, shopping, or whatever. It feels a connectedness in it. But when it's seen that there is no separation, even at a young age, even at a whatever, what I'm saying, it's just seen that everything is complete, then there is a seeming kind of like seeing through that what seems to be appearing is real, but it's also unreal. So there's the neurotic tendency or the tendency to, again, I'm not an addiction specialist or anything like that, but in the story, it was seen that when everything is not separate, there's no one trying to escape anything anymore. There's just this directness. Hi, Becca's fella. Just want to say thank you as I'm starting to understand a little and loving this and getting into this. Oh, thank you. Thank you. There's nothing to get though. It's already completely as it is. It's already what it is. Thank you. Hi, Emerson. I always have a lot of questions coming into this, but an hour into it, you obliterate all of my questions. So thank you. I don't have any questions, and maybe they'll come up again, but thank you for doing this. Oh, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. And it doesn't have to be a question. If you just want to chat. That's completely all right. I don't have any answers anyway, so. Thank you. Hey, Monique. Oh, hi. It's good to see you.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Hello.
Hang on. I'm terrible at this
How's
thing.
your motorcycle?
It's fun. It's good.
Awesome.
Enjoying it.
Awesome.
Characters. That didn't go away. I was just thinking about what you were saying, like, after this apparent falling away or realization or whatever you can try to label. there, you know, even though there's no one here, it
Yeah.
just seems like, you know, and this is said a million times, it just,
Yeah.
everything appears to happen. Action steps appear.
Yeah.
And, you know, after the apparent falling away, you know, the character would have never moved, never would have sold the house I was in for 21 years. All these memories were in the house. I raised my kids there, you know, they grew up there. There was too many. But like within a few months, like everything just happened. Like I the house was to be sold and I moved here, Tampa, and, you know, everything just seems to like fall into place. Not that it's perfect, you know, there's still anger that can arise, or frustration or sadness or any of those things. But I think, you know, the like what's been spoken about, there's no stickiness to that anymore. And, there's no one making decisions. Like it was apparent, it appeared to me yesterday, like I've been looking at, you know, I've been living at my daughter's for 4 months and it's been great. It's, you know, taking care of the baby and having fun here and everything. And, but then all of a sudden, what appeared out of nowhere was a motivation to go and get a house. Like, so I put in an offer on a condo yesterday, and it's like, I've been not working for 4 months. And all of a sudden I just find myself applying for jobs completely out of my old career, like flight attendant, years old.
Wow.
You
come visit now.
I haven't got it yet.
Okay.
JetBlue, I'm at the second level, so I'm hoping. But it's just weird how, like, in, you know, there's no time, so I don't know the date that, you know, I think it was in March last year when I first actually spoke to you and said, something happened.
I remember that.
Everything's different. I watched I mean, not that I hadn't been watching like other non-duality. I had watched some Anna Brown and stuff, but I was really like following, you know, spiritual teachers. I won't say who they are.
You are,
meditation and all of that. And then I watched a Tony Parsons video, and like within 24 hours, I don't know. There was I woke up, something happened. And I was like, what's everything's different, but not, you know, it was still the same, but it was noticed that so many beliefs.
I remember the aliveness in talking, which is the same right now, you know, and it's just this
gone.
Aliveness.
I think they're, you know, it's just a story, but an apparent like adjustment period seemed to happen, like where it was like, okay, you know, I don't know, because it's so natural, but yet it's noticed. But I just wanted to say that, like that, you know, it's just, and there's no like attachment to it, but the life is happening, the job is happening, the buying of the condo is happening, and no one's there's no feeling like I'm doing it. Like there's the characters, it just feels like it's just naturally occurring this way. It's can't really put it into words, but that's all. I just know, you know, people talking about that you know, that topic, like there's no one here. It's just so
it's
obvious.
the biggest misconception that when there's no one, that there's nothing, that life is not lived. It's fully lived, actually, because it's no one is trying to control it anymore. So when there is like a wanting to quit, you know, for, you know, the job, and then moving, you know, and buying motorcycles, you know, going cruises, it's freedom. It's freedom, right? Even this speaking about this is freedom, right? Because you would think that a teacher, you know, a spiritual teacher would not do this again. And yet here it is, you know, here we are. Like, I love that there's just this aliveness in everything. And again, you're right. It is, and if somebody says that this is spiritual bypassing, again, I'm going to, you know, it's not, because there's nothing to bypass. It's a full acceptance, although there's no acceptance of what is. So there's just this aliveness. And if they see your post, you know what I'm saying, they're like, that's a full-on aliveness there.
Exactly. There's no one to deny anything. There's no denying of, because there's no, who would deny it? It's there, that whole thing is gone. Like, you know, you just, whatever, you know, you can still get mad in traffic, and you know, but there's just no you getting mad. There's no like,
it's just anger happening.
There's no story.
But the anger is full on. It's not a denial, you know. It's full on, you know, sometimes heated.
But there's no like, in what appeared to be the, in the character, there was, at least for here, there was always a story afterwards. Wow, that guy's probably this, and I'm sure at home his wife hates him, and blah, blah, blah. There's none of
the
that
commentator
anymore. It's just like, hey, you cut me off, you jerk, and I might even like flip him off if I feel like it, but which isn't nice, but. And then it's gone. Like, I'm not mad anymore. It's just like, okay, you're a jerk, bye. And I keep driving, or somebody can be wonderful at the grocery store and there's all this joy and love, in an exchange at the store. And even that 2 minutes later, that's gone too. It's just like, it's no matter what it is.
It's
no
it's like the water off a duck's back. It just slides. Everything just slides. And it's nothing special about that. It's just what is natural is just like that. Because when there is a holding on to something or there's nothing wrong or right about it, but it feels unnatural now. It's weird, right? And it's just a felt sense of absence of the moment that it arises. It's kind of like when it rains.
Pretty good. How are you?
It's just
working on this guy or what?
Something here. Oh, sorry.
It's like when you're, the way that, and obviously it can't be described, right? It just is everything. It's what's happening dead on. But when, if it feels sometimes like when I was a child before, whatever conditioning, whatever you want to call it, veiled the truth of what is. Because it's so difficult to describe it, but it felt the way, like I can be in a park looking up at the sky, laying on a picnic bench, like listening to you or just music or whatever on my bike ride. And I feel the joy in that moment that I could remember feeling as a little kid, like the sky is so blue. And it's just noticed.
You got it. It's like this childlike wonder now, right? It's just because there's no more attachment to being right or wrong anymore. It is what it is. So what seems to appear is simply as it is. It's like, when I was walking in this morning and I was just I was just, for the first time I saw like all of these branches covered with snow, and it was so heavy that it's almost touching your head. And I'm like, it's as if it's trying to kind of like kiss me or something. It's just so intimate, right? It's just so beautiful. Again, that's just a story, right? But there's just this wonder. The narrative of Emerson before, because it came from a tropical island, grew up in the Philippines until he was 14, that the moment that there's snow and everything, I'll be kind of like, okay, I'm going to move to, I can't do this. So it's caught up in that narrative of like, I hate snow. I'm going to fall. I'm going to break my back because, all of this kind of like narrative or whatever. But now there's just this like, it's freezing, but wow, look at that branch, covered in snow, tilting down. It's like,
I know, and the mind is blown in the moment. It's like,
because there's no
mind, but it's wow. The wow.
It's a wow after wow after wow, and it doesn't have to be a great wow. It could be, oh wow, that's horrible.
Right, that's true. It could either way. It could be wow for something that's really
terrible.
Not a preference. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, just wanted to share that.
Oh, thank you for the chat, Monique. Thank you for the chat.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Keep on posting those motorcycles.
Okay.
Rock on. Hi, Emerson. I like writing down what you say. And I really love when you said the uncreated masterpiece of nothingness. I don't even know what I said, but this is uncreated and this is a masterpiece. There's no architect in this apparent structure of reality. There's no architect. There's no maker in this appearance because there's no separate. There's no location or a source of what seems to be occurring and what seems to be happening, which is also not happening. It's like this, it's like elegant humility. It's this exquisiteness, this directness, this, yeah, it makes me into a poet. Because it's just so beautiful. It's just this aliveness. It's so yeah, it's so undeniable. This, yeah. But thank you for writing what I write. Thank you. And it's not about trying to figure out what I write or what I speak about. It's nothing. It's like empty words. It's just basically expressing what is, and it can't really be fully expressed. It can't be told. It can't be heard. Hi, Emerson. There's a lot of joy in your speaking of this. Are you always happy? Well, there's no one here that's happy or not. There's just happiness that comes. There's just joy that appears. I already told this in my talk with Eri, but the other day I got angry. And I haven't been angry for about 5 years. And I was wondering, maybe there's something up. But when the anger came, it was like this hot anger, screaming. You know, I was protecting my dad against someone that was yeah, it's just a story. But yeah, it felt good. It's aliveness. It's not about the denial. It's just this aliveness. So anger might appear. And then right after the anger, I had this big smile because I was like, I hate this, but it almost felt like orgasmic because it was like, there's anger that happened. It's probably going to come off wrong. But it is what it is. It doesn't get engaged in a lot of drama anymore. For example, if somebody says something negative or something that's not pleasant, it sees it as emptiness. It sees it as nothing. And there might be a sting, but the sting doesn't even last. It doesn't even affect anymore. It's just what is. It's all unconditional love, so to speak. Katriana, is that Gruff? Oh, hi, Gruff. Can I spotlight you? I want to see Gruff. Oh, hi, Gruff. Gruff is a celebrity, everyone. Hi, Gruff.
I'm now sitting here, and he just literally, I saw him high in the sky, and he spotted me sitting here, so he came straight down and came to me.
Oh,
And
wow.
that's
Hi, Gruff. How's freedom?
it's bliss.
For those people that,
Unconditionally bliss.
yeah, for those people that know Gruff, Gruff is a local celebrity in Trinidad and Tobago. He flies freely all across the island.
You can't do that. He's preening me.
I loved our conversation the other day, Katriana. That was fun.
It was.
Yeah. What did we talk about again?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Nothing.
A bunch of nothing. Hilarious. I'll release it soon. I'll release it soon. That was a fun conversation. Oh, there's the doggy. Oh, wow. So much love in one.
Too much.
Too much love. Parrot and doggy.
Like she
Macaw.
wants to say hi.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, plenty. Oh. Sorry.
Love you all. So many here in live and with the beauty of what is. I must go some new chapters to written in this story. Each one here is so beautiful. Bye bye. Thank you so much, David. Thank you. Thank you so much. Emerson, how long is this meeting? Usually until the questions run dry. So we could go for days if you like, but there are no more questions. So we might, oh, there it is. Oh, hi. Hi, Jane.
Oh, hi, Emerson.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Great.
I hope you can say something about the center, because I can see the body mind, they are function as they are, but then there's still, this 180-degree, right? And its position still here. Is this centerness is also apparent happening as well, just like any other apparent happening?
There is no center.
There's no center. So center.
No, there's just another perception, right? So there is a feeling of centeredness, for some characters there, there's a feeling, but that is also as real as the colors that you're seeing. The colors that you're seeing are colorless. So there's this illusion that feels absolutely real, that you think that there's a center, that there's a location, or there's a body mind even. There's no body mind as well. Everything that's appearing is just this really persistent illusion that appears as reality to a perceiver, but the perceiver is the illusion. So everything that it perceives, colors, sounds, visuals, is just a dream. There's no reality. It's a felt sense reality. It's palpable, it's unquestionable. But what is also unquestionable is that there's also just this emptiness that is in everything. Or kind of like when it's expressed that there are really no colors, but somehow we're seeing red and white and yellow and black and everything, but this is colorless. It's kind of like there is also no localization. There's a Nobel Prize winner of a couple of scientists that there's no localized universe. So how could there be a center or a position when it's just a felt sense of reality? And that felt sense of reality is also questionable, because the person that's perceiving that comes in and out of this appearance.
Yeah, for some reason I still feel, especially.
And there's nothing wrong or right about that. If that's what's appearing, that's what's appearing, and that's perfectly as it is. Yeah.
Yeah, because even in the dream, right? In the normal people's dream, normally you don't see the body, right? But everything's still going on.
Yeah, there's in the dream, you know what? In the dream, it feels absolutely real. For example, that there is a body, that there's, for example, have you ever had a dream that you had taste in the dream? Yeah. But when you wake up, was any of that taste real?
It's gone.
No, there you go. It's the same thing as feeling centered or thinking that there's a body or mind or body mind. When there's a collapse of everything, even anything that is previously known, like body mind, or even felt sense of reality, like centeredness or something, is also basically is dissipates. It dissolves. Everything dissolves basically. So there's any idea that you've ever had, anything that you felt that was real, is also unreal at the same time. It could feel absolutely real, like centeredness or body mind or whatever, or there's any conviction that you've ever had is seen as just this persistent illusion of reality. There's no getting this. And that's when the unconditionality is, the openness is, right? There's just like this, it's neither you know or you don't know. There's just no one. There's a knowing that happens. There's an unknowing that seems to happen simultaneously, but there's no one that it's happening to. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if that made sense. Probably doesn't, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But keep on coming with questions if you like.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Well, I think that's all the questions. If there's any other questions, please go ahead. Speak now or forever. No, I'm just kidding. Well, thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to open up the breakout room. There's pretty awesome speakers, in the apparent audience right now that usually speaks in a breakout room. If you want to, there's like Ere, there's Katriana, there's Nikki, there's Matt. There's so many people. There's even Harvey here. Petra, so many people. So great. Okay, I'll open up. Thank you so much, everyone. And I'll see you guys next Friday. And okay. I just assumed that it was like, but yeah, you know what? Maybe we'll go 2 hours next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
I'll see you guys in the breakout room. I'll visit the breakout room too.